Hey everybody, it's Michael here from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video review. Not really done on the table. Oftentimes when I do these long guns, I can't really do them on the table, just too hard. They're too long, essentially. A long gun, it's too long. And so I'm only going to see part of it unless I really get my camera up high, which is kind of weird. My table just isn't big enough to accommodate these guns for tabletop review. So this is the tabletop review with me. And usually they're not quite as cut up because I've got to read off of this. I can't do as much cutting in post and all that, but we'll get through it. So this is the Krytac Warsport LVOA-C AEG Airsoft Rifle. Again, it's tabletop review, no shooting. I will be following this up later on with a field test shooting video. So if you want to see performance, velocity, accuracy, in semi and full auto, all that kind of stuff, then check out a little bit later on. If you're watching this right away when it comes out, the video for the field test will be a couple weeks, probably a week or so, 2 weeks from now. All right, so this gun is available in our Canada Replica Airgun store. Don't believe we have it in the US store at the time of this video, but you never know. We would sometimes carry products in the US store later on once we get them in. And again, it's not a shooting video. That's coming up soon. So let's get right into the specifications. This gun is made by Krytac, so just this one here. We'll get into some more close-up stuff in a bit. The sister company of Chris. So basically, Chris, the Chris guns, they own, I guess, Krytac, or they are Krytac. So I'm not sure if it's made in the same factory, but it's made, kind of like how Sig Sauer makes their own air guns, same as Chris, they make their own airsoft guns. So fully licensed Warsport LVOA, low visible. So what does LVOA stand for? It stands for Low Visibility Operations Application. What does that mean? I don't know. You tell me. Maybe just a cool name. It's kind of a cool name, but I don't really think it's like something that people have been using out there in the field. Oh, I want my low visibility operations application. Probably not. Anyways, it's based on the AR platform, the M16 platform, and it is a semi and full auto selectable gun with an ambidextrous selector switch. It shoots in single action only, so it has this flat electric trigger, as is with most AEG airsoft rifles. It uses 6mm plastic airsoft BBs, so you can get them in different gram, right? So you can get, typically 0.20 or 0.30, whatever you want to shoot. Different ranges, you're going to want to go heavier for longer ranges. It has a high capacity 300 round magazine, and it's mostly all metal build, aircraft grade aluminum receiver. It comes in at 6.2 pounds or 2.8 kilograms, has a total length of 32.7 to 35.8 inches, which is 830 to 910 millimeters, depending on the stock position. So right now that's fully closed, fully open. It's 6-position stock, which I believe I point out here in a sec. And it does have pop-up removable. Now I do have it written down as metal iron sights, but when I was mounting them, they are plastic iron sights. A lot of times these sights are referred to as iron sights, but they can be metal or plastic. In this case, they're like a nylon fiber. And I didn't mention the barrel. The barrel length is 15.6 inches or 395 millimeters, and it's a 6.05 millimeter inner barrel, non-rifled, of course. This gun has a 390 to 410 FPS claimed by the factory, and again, it has those pop-up sights. Again, it has that 6-position. I could show you, but it is 6. So 1, 2, 3. I have found the 6. Just we'll double check. Sometimes they're just hard to find. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I thought it was 6, but maybe it's 5. Does it matter? Probably not. So we'll say 5 to 6 position. Rear stock. It has the dual-sided sling mounts. Well, I'll show you that when I get in close to it. And it does have the T6 machined aluminum hard-coat anodized handguards with a Picatinny on top and M-lock on the sides and the bottom. And then it also has a low-profile sights. These guys right here, so they're low-profile. They don't sit up too high, which is nice. They fold down when you're not using them for storage, transport, all that kind of stuff. And it has the Nautilus V2 gearbox and Nautilus MOSFET system. So nice high-end internal components. And it does have a numbered rotary hop-up, which is nice. So if you can remember the hop-up number for different, type of ammo that you're using, that can come in handy. And it also uses the modern T-plugs, large Dean's plug, but it does have an adapter as well if you're gonna go and plug it into a different battery. So it does come with that. And it is made in Taiwan. So what comes in the box? Again, you get this adapter to go from the Dean's to the standard. You have this little mini Picatinny rail that can go either on the side or the bottom, okay, so you can mount it. Good for if you want to put a foregrip on here or some sort of foregrip or pistol handle, foregrip handle there. Just a little shorty, but you can add different ones if you want to. There is this tool. Please tell me what the heck this is. I think it's probably for assembly, disassembly, or something like that. I don't know what it's for. I tried to figure it out. I tried watching videos. Nobody mentioned it in their video. At least I'm showing you it. Maybe other people are like, I don't want to show this because I don't know what it is. I'm not embarrassed to tell people I don't know what it is. It's probably something super obvious that I should know, but anyways, you also have this cleaning rod, also clean out or push out any BBs that might be stuck in the barrel if that happens. You get a little sticker, right? You also have the Krytac manual, which has all your information, so I'm not going to show it, but it's got your specifications, lots of them. Talks about maximum velocity, talks about how to load it, how to tighten the magazine. This one doesn't actually have the tightening system, so it's a spring one as opposed to, it might hold less to be honest, but it does say 300 rounds, so there's no spring in here. It's a different type of magazine, but it does say it holds 300 rounds. I guess we'll find out when I do the field test shooting video. And tells you how to load the battery, so I'll show you that a little bit. Shows you how to adjust hop up in here. Okay, yeah, so all that important stuff. Does it say what that tool's for? I don't see it. So not even in here does it show me what the tool's for. I did look in here and I couldn't find it. So yeah, no mention of the crazy tool or whatever that is. Maybe it's not a tool. Okay, got through that. Let's go and take a good look around this gun. Then we'll get into the pros and the cons. I do want to show it nice and close. So I'll pop this off now. Sometimes you just need to. There's the butt plate. It is kind of got a little bit of a rubberized back to it. Bug here. So that's nice. I'm going to just quickly plug in the Dean's connector. Now I don't have a proper nunchuck battery for it. So you would need like a nunchuck battery to go on either side that would plug in here, because this obviously isn't going to work. But I do have a battery in here. Really hauls, so that's going to be some serious full auto. By the way, this is an 11.1 volt, so you could use a little, if you want your rate of fire to be a little slower, well, you could use a lower voltage. That'll slow down the rate of fire, because that is pretty fast. You're going to go through the ammo pretty quickly. So you do have a working bolt. You have the working, well, it's not really bolt, but it's the dust cover, right? Charging handle. And once you're in there, you can get at this hop-up, which is numbered. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can, right? So that's a numbered, you don't have to hold it back, so it stays open for you, ready to go, ready to adjust the hop-up. Again, you have the ambidextrous safety selector for semi, full auto, and safe. You have a flat trigger, which is really nice. You've got Krytac markings, actually the Krytac, and this one's basically got the Warsport on it, although it is a Krytac product. It's all licensed and branded with the Warsport licensing on it, including even on the magazine. The magazine is quite nice. It's got this little window here, so you can see where your BBs are at when you start to get low. So it's kind of cool. nice plastic, but it's like almost a rubberized plastic. So you get this really nice rail, all machined, very tight. The rail is it's a two-piece rail, connects onto the receiver here. Again, here's your front sight, and it is adjustable for elevation here. And the rear sight is adjustable for windage, right? So you got this windage adjustment. It also has the small peep and the large peep for different types of shooting styles. If you're shooting, got a bug in here. You might see him from time to time, a little fruit fly or something. My buddy for the day. Now this one does come with an orange tip, unfortunately. Only the orange tip, but you could put other tips on it if you want to. And here's the other side. Working bolt release, so right, so perfect, right? Perfect for what you need. And yeah, nice pistol grips, textured there. Again, 5 or 6 position rear stock. I thought it was 6 when I was testing it earlier. Really nice looking gun. Just take a look at it real close here. Really high quality, not cheap, like in the $700 price range. Okay, really nice. I love that front rail. Now there is, I believe, an S version, so it would be basically, it would be the LVOA-S instead of -C, and that one is a shorter version, so almost exactly the same, but a little shorter, and it does come in different colors. I believe we have 2 different colors on our website, but I believe the company makes it in 4 different colors. All right, so let's talk about this gun a little bit. Put this back on so I don't forget about it. Let's talk about the pros and the cons. All right, so pros. Full metal build with aircraft grade aluminum receiver and T6 machined aluminum hard coat anodized handguard. So the quality of the materials is excellent in this product. It does have that flat electric trigger with the noticeable click reset. So essentially, I can't really show you now because the battery's out, but when you come forward with it, you can actually hear it click to let you know that it's reset. And not a lot of airsoft guns have that. They just basically, it's like an on-off switch, so they don't click forward. This one does, which is more like a real, real steel firearm. It also have the FPS sitting there at, I believe it's around 400 FPS, is pretty much right where you want it to be. Not going to be crazy hot, but it'd be still good to shoot down long ranges outdoors, but not too hot for indoor shooting. You do have that, whatever it is, 5 to 6 position rear stock. I don't know, 5 or 6, I'm not sure. They're sometimes hard to find. They're so incrementally, close together that sometimes you miss a position. I thought I checked it before and it was 6, but it might be 5. You also have the pop-up removable metal, not metal, but actually plastic, so polymer, nylon fiber, iron sights. They're adjustable again for windage and elevation. You do have, it's fully licensed from Warsport LVOA, and it's also made by Chris, or at least distributed. So a lot of times, like even Sig Sauer, it's complicated, but essentially they make real firearms. So they're not gonna create a brand new warehouse and section just to make air guns. So a lot of times they source the products out through other airsoft manufacturers, but they get them to make these products very specifically to their set of guidelines and their whatever it might be. So they want to make sure that company is making these products exactly the way they want them. I believe that's the case with Chris. They're probably not making them in the exact same warehouse that the real steel guns or the factory that those ones are made, but they're definitely a big part of the manufacturing process, how they want them done, not just buying some knockoff gun from another company and getting their branding painted on it or whatever, right? So that's a good way to go. Again, there's ambidextrous selector switch and sling mount. There's the Nautilus V2 gearbox and MOSFET setup. It does have that numbered rotary hop-up, which makes it easy to switch between airsoft ammo weights, depending on what you're using, and more than average battery compartment room. So it's got adequate room in there. As long as you got the nunchuck style batteries, you should be fine. And you can go with high voltage ones pretty easy. Choose your voltage according to what your needs are. All right, some cons. Again, I did mention price, but I don't want to focus on it too much. This is a high-end product. in that $700 price range, at least Canadian-wise prices are about there, a little cheaper in the US just because of the dollar difference. And it does come with that orange flash hider. Not a big fan, but you could take it off easily and put a standard flash hider on it. And this version is a bit long for my taste. It's not really a con, right? It's just personal preference, but I'd probably, you know, if we sold it, and I don't think we do right now, I'd probably go for the C or the S version, the shorter version, just because I like my guns, my airsoft guns, a little more compact, easier to move around, and that extra barrel length doesn't make a huge difference in terms of velocity, doesn't make a huge difference in terms of accuracy. So why have it, right? That's my opinion. All right, again, stay tuned for the field test shooting video for this product. Looking forward to testing it out. I'm expecting, you know, really good results. Also, again, it's in our Canada Replica Airgun store. I'll put a link in the description there for you. You can check for it in the US store, do a search for it if you find this video later on, and I haven't put a link in there for you yet. So US store is replicairguns.us, the Canadian store is replicairguns.ca, and the blog where I'm going to put a written post for this gun is replicairguns.com. Again, I'll put a link in the description to find that written post for this product where I have some additional information potentially and additional photos. All right, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on replicairguns.ca for Canada and replicairguns.us for the US for those stores where we sell air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. Again, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.